Let's see if it becomes better. Ooh, please, 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 please. Go live. Go live, you know. Oh, it did it! We're back!
Yay.
Oh my!
We're back.
Actually back, and I can see myself move and do stuff. So yay! It's
Nice.
it's not as laggy. Let's go. I think I fixed it.
We love that.
Exactly. Okay. Let me just tweet this out again, I guess.
Go for it.
Had an error. But we back. Zcast episode 50. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Alright. Put those up there. Yay! Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Hopefully now everything is gonna be alright. Yay!
Alright.
Gotta love OBS. I haven't dropped a single frame, so that looks like it's going well. Okay.
Knock on wood.
Coming back to it, for those who just joined us, I am live today. Revived is not here; he's doing his own stuff, and I think that's great that he's doing some stuff. But today I have as guest Jasonhoisington and I have Kcosmic. So again, thank you guys for being here and bearing with the stuff that just happened. But
hey, it's all good, man. We've been there before. We understand the technical difficulties, so don't worry about it.
It's gonna be an interesting episode, I'm just gonna say, because a lot of stuff has happened lately around Call of Duty, and not even just zombies, but also Warzone, and I mean Kong versus Godzilla. That shit's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Alright, so what would you guys like to dive into first?
Well, I mean, I don't know Jason's opinion on any of this because we haven't actually had a chance to talk properly about it.
True.
But I think it'd be interesting to jump into Cold War Zombies and talk about this Easter egg
100%.
and talk about all the opinions for it, because online it's actually obviously I'm referring to the Super Easter egg and the reward you were able to obtain in it. The opinion is actually quite mixed. Some people are really excited. Some people aren't really happy with it. So, I mean, I can go over the rewards and just talk about it. Just, explain it to the chat and stuff. So, for the actual reward for completing all the Cold War Easter eggs, so this is all around base, and then this is the Outbreak maps as well. You will be able to go to the Outbreak region zoo, and there is a new secret location, which isn't really a secret. Once you kind of know where it is, it's quite actually obvious. But you go interact with the secret. Ooh,
secret location.
Foothills. So you go to this location. You can interact with these pillars, and then you can join the pact. And this essentially allows you to have can I remember what rarity it is? It's the purple one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first one.
epic rarity.
Level 3.
Epic rarity, yeah. Level 3, epic rarity. So essentially, whenever you spawn into a game of zombies, whatever weapon you pick, it'll be this level. We also got a few other things. We got some emblems. We got some what else we got? We got some emblems. Was that it?
We had a watch. We had
a watch as well. The watch is probably the best cosmetic thing about it.
Yeah.
But the hot debate about this Super Easter egg is that many believe that Treyarch made it out to be a lot more of a exciting, rewarding thing. As they said, over a dozen rewards. Obviously, they technically weren't wrong because we got over 10 emblems, so they're not wrong. And people are just a bit mixed feelings about it. So, guys, what do we think? Who wants to start off and kind of give their opinions? And
Well, I'll start off. So,
sure thing.
Here's the thing. Treyarch explained what they were going to explain, and they didn't over-explain it. I think that's the thing we all got to keep in mind. Is they weren't the ones that were like, guys, this is going to be like, this amazing super duper reward that is going to give you 5 new maps and like Ravenov and Peck and like whatever, right? So like they didn't over explain it, they didn't overhype it. I think the community themselves kind of set the expectation, because I think with previous Super Easter eggs, like obviously Infinite Warfare's director's cut,
which we'll go back to. Yeah.
Everybody, everyone's comparing it to that, which I understand. I definitely understand that Infinite Warfare set the bar super high for Super Easter eggs.
Really high.
There's no denying that. However, we got to keep in mind too that this is all very contextual. So we have Treyarch right now, who is currently split between so many different projects. You have Black Ops Cold War Year 2, you have Vanguard, you have COD 2024, you have their involvement probably in Warzone and other things like that, some free-to-play mode that I assume that they have some kind of stake in, because Treyarch is, quite frankly, the most overworked studio under the Activision umbrella. So you got to keep in mind that they're working on so many things right now. And the fact that they even made something for a Super Easter egg, which, by the way, people talk about, this isn't a Super Easter egg, this isn't whatever. This still falls under the textbook definition of a Super Easter egg. Exactly. When you complete every single Easter egg, you get something as a return. Yeah. So this is better than nothing. I think the epic rarity reward starting out is amazing. I think that's a fantastic upgrade. The calling card, I think Zombies fans will like that. The emblems, Zombies fans will like that. I mean, obviously you have, very memorable characters, I guess you would say, in the Cold War Zombies story, especially for people on Twitter. And you also have the Dark Ops challenges that were all completed. You get some extra XP, and the watch too, Dark Deeds. I think that's a cool watch.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also one of the first watches that tracks your headshots, which I think is an interesting one, because I think we saw that first in Vanguard, and then it came back in Cold War. So
was that a Vanguard thing first? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was really interesting because it came in Vanguard, and then the bundle that came out with Jungle, I believe. It was a Jungle or the other map. WMD, indeed. There was a bundle that came out with it that tracked headshots. It was, I think it was the Hudson bundle that came out, like the covert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that had like a headshot tracker, and I was like, oh, sweet, that's cool. But beforehand, Vanguard had that one as well in the files. So,
cool.
It's interesting to see how they went from there. And one part that I also really like about this Super Easter egg reward is, it's basically a teaser of things to come. Because they say, the demon says, this is just the beginning. So I'm thinking, what if there's going to be a continuation to this? You never know. It might just surprise us out of the blue.
Yeah, and if not, then it's just a teaser towards the next game, maybe.
Yeah.
It could either be something that hinting towards more stuff in Cold War, or that, for my opinion, on the whole, super underwhelming Easter egg reward. I think the only thing that was done slightly wrong was saying over a dozen rewards. I think that is the only thing that's kind of gone wrong there. Again, technically they weren't wrong. Technically they weren't, right? But as a community, we know that we'd like to get a little bit more excited than we probably should do. We know when we hear dozen rewards, we think, oh, camo, epic variant upgrades, calling. I forgot calling cards, but super cool calling card. I think
Pack-a-Punch camos. People were thinking we were going to get the Pack-a-Punch camos.
Exactly.
That would have been cool.
Exactly. So I think people thought that we're going to get so much stuff in this and so many individual new items, which obviously wasn't the case. When you compare the Super Easter egg to past games, Black Ops 3 is obviously better because you get a super overpowered weapon at the start, essentially. And Black Ops 3, you got an RK5 and full ammo in your weapons. World War 2 obviously had a Super Easter egg. You could load in with the MP40, and then you got some other cool little things
zombie
as well.
You could place the zombie.
Yeah, I think this is still kind of technically better than that in terms of being kind of not overpowered, but in terms of actual usefulness. I think, again, Infinite Warfare Zombies, Super Easter egg, it's not going to get beaten.
No,
it's not.
100%.
Unless they completely copy it or go completely over the top in it in some new game, then I think it's just an unrealistic expectation to have on it, because it just doesn't make sense. IW wanted to go out for a bang because the whole game was made to be a fun zombies experience. It was made to be just go in, kill zombies, kind of come out sort of experience. And I'm not saying Cold War isn't, but I think for IW, that's where it shines, where it gives players a lot of just freedom from the very start. In that sense, for that reward. I I think, I think the only thing that really was done, I wouldn't even say done wrong. I think it was just kind of like the communication wasn't so great. Was saying over a dozen rewards. The actual reward itself was actually okay for what you've done. So you could have started out with nothing. You know, they could. They didn't have to do anything. And you have to remember they're working on Vanguard. They're doing all this stuff as well. They're working on their next game because, as Jason said, they're the most overworked studio. I mean, they're working on like League Play.
They've been working for 5 years non-stop.
They worked on Cold War. They worked on Black Ops 4. you know, they even did, from what I recall, they even did little work on World War II. But
exactly,
they
that's what I wanted to say in a moment. They did work on World War II, and they also worked around with the final map, the Frozen Dawn, with the boss fight mechanics for that.
Oh wow!
So they did stuff for that as well, and then to come from that to their Black Ops 4, and then told towards the end of Black Ops 4 life cycle, kind of halfway through. By the way, you guys are making the next game after the new game coming out, and then you guys are going to work on League Play, and then Vanguard Zombies, and you're also going to update your old game, and then you're going to work on your new game as well that comes out in obviously you get a little bit, they got an extra year, but again, I think it's just a prime example of a studio overworked but still trying to do its best for its community. And it definitely did something for us, which I appreciate, and I really like the story stuff that's 100%. Happening. I think that's probably the best thing about it, to be honest, to be excited for the future. And I think anyone that completely hates on the Easter egg, you're valid to your own opinion, but at the end of the day, you didn't have to get anything. Mm-hmm. And I can almost guarantee that half the people complaining haven't done Outbreak Easter egg. So
100%. Coming back to that.
Not wrong.
It's also interesting to see, if you saw Kevin Drew's tweet a few days ago, is that he said we learned from our mistakes from the past, looking forward to the future. So people saw that and they're like, oh, we're gonna get like an IW thing. There was more oil being put on that fire that was already being hyped up. But the wording that people see with the dozen rewards it's dozen rewards. That can be anything. They didn't say different dozen of rewards. It was just the same. You could have seen it coming from a mile away. But the one part which I am kind of saddened about is we got all these emblems, right? We get every hero character, and then we get Valentina. But we don't get the Mauer the Toad and Omega group crew as gamer pictures.
I mean, maybe just because those particular characters that we got as emblems are more core, central to the overall story of Black Ops Cold War. I think when it comes to Gorev and Jaeger, I think those guys are going to be playing some kind of a role in the next game, because you can't just introduce those characters and okay, they're gone now. I understand Bye-bye. You can, read on intel, you can listen to their conversations and the intel and whatever. It's cool. But, those are just two characters right now that are just floating in limbo right now when it comes to the Dark Aether storyline, which is very confusing to me what they're going to do with them. But I guess on a tangent on that with the Dark Aether storyline, I definitely think, I think Peck might become a good guy just because of, what's all going on. And really, Peck's whole character motivation, and people are gonna be like, dude, really? Yes, really, I'm about to say this. Peck is actually such an underrated character in the Dark Aether storyline, because you have such a very interesting character here that I think perfectly kind of personifies the tension between the Russians and the Americans when it comes to the Cold War. You have a guy who's been on both sides, who, his arrogance and his intellect and how he's worked for both sides in a way almost conveys the arrogance and the selfishness of both the Americans and the Soviets in a different way. So through Dr. Peck, we kind of realize that, there are other people with other motivations, and they're trying to use those countries to get ahead in their own agendas, which is what Dr. Peck tried to do. Yeah. So with Dr. Peck and his own ego and his own cunning, really, him trying to maybe go to the middle of the ocean to recover the rockets, the warheads from Operacja Inversia, is that another ego trip for him to maybe save the world? Is that another ego trip for him to try to make things right so he can be the big hero? Or did he actually turn a new leaf after Forsaken. So I think that's kind of an in-depth thing that we can explore in the next game, but that's a little tangent I wanted to go on there. Dr. Peck is actually very underrated.
And the part that also has me with Peck himself is that at the end of Firebase C, he got rescued, but because of his arrogance and everything, he had to show some loyalty, and that's why his eye got cut out.
Yeah.
But even though that he has like a grudge against Krushenko or anything because his eyes taken out, he's still doing his stuff for his own agenda. You can see that in like the intros and everything. He's talking to the Forsaken. He's giving information to Krushenko, but he's not giving everything. He's keeping some of it for himself. Like, the power contained within the Dark Ether will be yours. None of the Russians will know about this. This is our secret. And the way that he gets manipulated, you can see it. He's like, I did not know this was gonna happen. Is you fucking fool.
Yeah.
And
the
there you
wolf
can
was
see
at our door and you let him in.
Exactly. But there you can see that his own arrogance actually led to basically the downfall of a mega group in a way.
Yeah.
And
I think that can also, I think that's a good allegory for the Cold War too. Mm-hmm. And I think, like I said, through him we can kind of understand the kind of power dynamics that some of these scientists and some of these researchers maybe also had during the Cold War. I mean, because it's easy to point the finger at Peck on a surface level. It's easy to point the finger at Peck and go, "Oh my God, he's a turncoat. He's a traitor to the Americans, whatever." Right? But can we also keep in mind that also, the Americans aren't quite out of the woods yet when it comes to the Cold War, and then some of the experiments that they've done, especially with MK Ultra being a literal focal point of the campaign of Black Ops Cold War, and then the entirety of the rest of the post-launch story now wasn't through the Americans' perspective. Of course, it was through Stitch and Perseus with their mind control program and all that. But I don't know. Just to me, I think Peck is going to be a super huge character in the next story and the next
I think we might
iteration.
even see him at the end of Vanguard Zombies. I do believe that we're going to see him.
That'd be interesting.
And
as like a current day.
Well, he's working for the Americans before he turned, or what?
Or like
because you have to think, like, what age would he be right now? What would we say?
Probably like 45.
Doesn't it say on his character profile? Like, remember those documents that we got before Firebase Z released? Doesn't it say on his character profile how old he is? I don't even know how old he is.
Old is Doctor.
Google, why not?
But yeah, if something happened during World War II that had like a giant impact on Peck himself because he is not just working for the Russians because he was working for the Russians. He knew about stuff beforehand. You can also see this in the intel. He knew about the crystallized beings turning into the Tempest, using the energy of the Tempest to make those, how do you call them? Inversion rockets, I believe?
Yeah. The inversion warheads.
Yeah, the inversion warheads. He knew how to control that. So where does that knowledge come from? That cannot come from the Forsaken, because the Forsaken wants to enter our world, and that was just to destroy the Dark Ether from the inside. So somewhere in between, I believe, there's going to be a part like we're going to see young Peck or something with like finding an artifact. Maybe he even talks to Cortifex or something. Maybe that's the demon who he's been talking to all along.
Well, it all depends here. So he's the age of 50. He's 50 years old, which I was really expecting.
Hang on.
Robot?
Your voice was like all screwed up there, my friend. Did you say he was? did you say he's 50 years old by the at the time Cold War is happening?
Oh, I'm lagging for some reason.
Chat.
Exactly what's happening.
We got Robot Cosmic.
Hello. Yes. Hi.
Okay. Well, I'm going to one bar for some reason. Something's trying to install.
So, if he's 50 years old by the time...
So he would have picked up some Windows 5. Right?
I mean, let's see. I don't know. Does anybody in the chat know when Dr. Peck was born? I can't understand Cosmic to save my life here.
He was 50 as of 1990, and he was born in 1940, is what Spider-Man 3891 just said to me.
Dude, that's my boy Spider-Man in the chat. Let's go.
There we go. Maybe that's
He's 40 as of what? I'm sorry.
He was born in 1940.
Born in 1940. So by the time what was it? By the time that Forsaken is a thing, right? What year does Forsaken take place? 85?
I believe so.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it is. Yeah, 85.
So then he would be like in his mid 40s. So okay, so the thing would be then it wouldn't line up then to see Peck at the end of Vanguard because Peck would be like 6.
He'd be like a toddler.
We're gonna see his father, who was who was in NATO, and he's just gonna take him on a trip to Egypt. There's gonna be
look, I would not be surprised actually, because if Jaeger is an ancestor of Von List, then
true.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are deeper family ties to what's happening here. Kind of make it a Star Wars kind of a thing here with Anakin and Luke, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, in a roundabout way. I mean, not exactly like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a little bit of a tangent there, but to get back on track, actually, for the actual topic of the podcast,
yes,
you know, the Super Easter Egg Award. I definitely think that it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. I appreciate what Treyarch has done. And, you know, I think with everybody going, oh, well, you're happy about emblems. You're happy about whatever. Honestly, emblems, they're kind of a basic thing. Like, I think some of the emblems do look cool. I mean, I like that you can use character pictures and stuff. I think that is a cool idea.
Yeah.
But, you know, emblems have always been kind of that not afterthought, but side thing in Call of Duty games where it's there just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I'm the most excited for, and the thing that I really appreciate, not that I don't appreciate everything else, but the thing that I think is the best reward for it, of course, is the purple rarity.
Yeah.
Because that just saves on a bunch of salvage. And yeah, I mean, it just I think it's a good reward for what it's worth. They could have had nothing, and you know, I think a lot of people had their expectations super high. I think it was the interpretation of people looking at like we were talking about earlier, the 12 new rewards, and they interpreted that as, you know, something completely different. And maybe they set their own expectations high, which honestly, I can't blame them for that either, because of the product that we've got with Cold War and zombies in that game is great. So I guess you can't really blame people for expecting super duper like crazy whatever, but at the same time you gotta kind of go back and be like, well, you know, they did kind of lay it out for us here, and you know, they didn't exactly say what it was going to be. I mean, even with the wording too, with like the secret area, right, or whatever they worded the blog post, like even
there's
with
gonna
that,
be a secret area somewhere, and you have to find out. And I'm like, oh, we've been finding doors in Forsaken. Oh, we've been finding something in D Machina that can be turned on since the beginning of the day one. Oh, there's a door at Firebase.
Here's the thing. I think those are all good points of speculation. I think that was good to kind of get our brains working to try to figure things out, right? I can't blame people for that. But then when it comes out, don't be surprised when it's not that thing. You know, don't be surprised when it's not that thing, because you didn't know what that thing was in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I thought what was going to happen was there was going to be like a room or something in each map, and you go into it, and then you'd get something. Whether like so that's what I thought originally. And don't get me wrong, when I seen that it was an outbreak, you know, I was a little disappointed, but not because it wasn't enough. Maybe it's because, again, my expectations were a little bit too high as well for what to kind of expect. Because you think about it, right? Putting a new room in each map, that's a fair bit of work. You know, I don't think they've ever really done anything like that before. And I imagine there's a fair chunk of like effort that goes into that, going back and like redoing stuff to the maps. With Outbreak, obviously, it's such a simple, clean format where they can kind of like add anything to, not with ease, but like it's easy enough for them to do. So, and when I was looking for D Machine, I was like, you know what? It's probably an Outbreak. That makes a lot more sense for it to be an Outbreak, because that's kind of why they had Outbreak.
Outbreak is expensive.
Exactly. And they could add things to it, so not regularly anymore, But obviously, when the Outbreak went in its prime, they added stuff like every like month or so to it. You know, it goes to show that they could do a lot of Outbreak that they couldn't do with normal zombies. So, I mean, yeah, that's an example of something like me getting my expectations probably a little bit high, but kind of reflecting back on it. Again, the reward isn't bad. It's not a bad reward. It's better than Black Ops 3's Super Easter Egg reward that, you know, everyone loves Black Ops 3. So it's better than that. It's better than the World War II reward that we got. It's better than the Advanced Warfare reward that we got, which was just trophies and wasn't really a reward. But I guess it's worth mentioning. In Black Ops 2, you know, you got the Victus Easter egg. You know, you either got an ultimate fire sale that lasted forever, or was it you also got a mule kick for 4 weapons. You know, that's fine and all, but the reward isn't really worth it because it only lasts
that one game.
After that one game, and obviously you can't do it on solo. And yeah, I don't think there's any other Super Easter eggs is there. I think that's about it. So there's not really. BO1, what did you get in the BO1 Super Easter egg?
BO1 was Big Bang Theory. It was to blow up the moon. You could not do the Easter egg if you did not complete the other Easter eggs before.
Oh yeah,
because
that's
you needed
true.
the items. That was the very first Super Easter egg that we had gotten.
Yeah.
And I still think to this day that it still counts as a Super Easter egg because we do get rewarded. You do get a trophy for it or an achievement, and on Xbox you even get a gamer picture for it. So.
Oh well.
Sounds like a Super Easter egg to me. You got to complete all the prior Easter eggs, and there you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like that's what happens with like with Black Ops 3 in a way. Obviously, you can still do the Revelations Easter egg, but you don't get fully rewarded for it. So,
I mean, I don't know. The thing is with Black Ops 3, right? I think a lot of people, if they're comparing Black Ops 3's Super Easter egg to Black Ops Cold War Super Easter egg, I don't think there's a comparison there.
No.
Like, sure, there's a comparison between the games, right? What one game did better than the other, and vice versa. But I think when it comes to these Super Easter egg rewards, one of them literally changes the entire flow of the game, while the other one you can buy off the wall at the beginning of the game.
That's true.
And
I mean,
you have max ammo at the beginning.
Here.
You have max ammo at the beginning for your pistol. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but like, you know, you just buy it off the wall for 500 points. You can earn that back in like a round. I don't know, man. Like I don't mind the RK5. I think it is a good reward for what it's worth in Black Ops 3. But I think with Black Ops Cold War and how that game kind of presents itself,
it wouldn't really make sense to give you
any weapon in the game that you can spawn in with automatically purple.
Yeah,
you know, I think it would definitely be more comparable to Black Ops 3 if Black Ops 3 Super Easter egg was spawn in with a pack-a-punch to RK5, right? Then maybe we can make a comparison there. But because the RK5 is like such a readily accessible weapon right there, and I can go into my game with a purple Gallo, with a purple Howler, with a purple E-Tool, whatever good weapon is in Cold War, that just shakes everything up and makes me go, cool. I don't get to spend extra salvage on that. Cool. I can kind of get ready a little bit earlier in the game than I would before.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. Outbreak, if you start the game on Outbreak now and you have a purple rarity weapon, and you have the crystal objective, boom, you're already orange tier, and boom, you can get a pack-a-punch tier, and whatever, and it's a good reward. Long story short,
it is a great reward, and I would have to say that the people who actually were looking at it like, oh, it is not a nothing, is people are entitled these days to everything that they can get, and that's something you see in this culture. And the rewards that we gotten are actually great for the people. Because people have been asking, please make getting Dark Ether camos easier. There you have it. You start in with a purple weapon. You can kill the zombies easily. You don't have to buy a sniper from the wall, for example, for it to be purple. And just spend 5,000 and then pack-a-punch it. You can just go ahead... Go for like 15 to 20 rounds, then stop with it, go in again. And the other part is even if you did not complete all the Easter eggs, you still get rewarded for completing some of the Easter eggs. You still get a green rarity or a blue rarity, and you get your emblems. But if you want the max reward, you get the purple rarity, and you get the watch, and you get the calling card.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, man. With another thing is too, and I think a lot of people need to like get over it, is the fact that you don't have to play with it.
Yes.
Like I know that's such absolute, and I think that's kind of a throwaway argument for a lot of people. But no, really, you don't have to play with it because you can actually deactivate it. You can
break
deactivate the pack.
Exactly.
Right. So if you don't like it,
option.
you don't have to play with it. Number one, I'm sure you will though. And number two, for the same people who are saying Cold War Zombies is too easy, this makes the game super easy. Again, you could turn it off, and then you can go buy your purple rarity guns off the wall, or you can wait a few rounds for the dynamic wall buys to shift and make it a higher rarity. Like, there's so many different ways to play this game that I don't understand why people are just upset about this, right? I really don't understand. I think there's a good happy medium between the hardcore players and the casual audience when it comes to this game, because if everything is super customizable, everything is dynamic, for lack of a better word, because of how there are so many systems that are kind of married together with this kind of flow and progression to it that makes you it makes you think about a lot of things, and it makes you hone your skills, but at the same time it's very easy concepts for you to understand. So it's easy for anybody to pick up the game and do it, and it's easy for anyone to pick up the game and do an Easter egg, but you can still put in a lot of time and effort to get really good at the game, and then to be a speedrunner, and to be a high rounder, and to be a whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. To me, half of this seems like some unnecessary complaining. But I think if people do have valid criticisms, then hey, valid criticism is always welcome. Just don't be an ass.
100%.
I think with the whole argument of Cold War being too easy and stuff is like, well, obviously when you go from one zombies game to another, right? It's the same formula for the most part, except Vanguard, but we won't comment on that. It's the same formula for the most part, where it's survive rounds, train, kill, camp, whatever, right? So I think we're just getting to a point with zombies where the challenge is becoming a little bit less, not maybe because of the game, but because the same people have been playing the game so much for the past 10 years that our skill gap from the start is so high. We're because I mean myself, I know if I was to go into a new game of zombies, right, a new zombies game, I was to play it, I could probably at least get to round 20, round 25, just from the basis of playing the map for the first time. But that's just because I've played the game so much. And like you said, you can turn off the tier upgrade for your weapon, and so. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly with all some of the criticism you're getting for Cold War being too easy, because again, you can turn it off. You look back to Black Ops 3, it's not like you can turn off the Arcade 5. It's not like you can turn off the Arcade 5. So I mean, again, good Easter egg reward. I think people are just upset because again they got a little bit overhyped. Good reward.
I agree with all of it. Yeah, it's a great reward. And also, what I do like about this reward is that even if you are a casual player, like I was saying, you only completed D Machine or Firebase, but you could not do the other ones. But you still want to do it because you want to get those maximized rewards, and that's what Treyarch is trying to do right now. Is to let the casual players that maybe completed one Easter egg see hey, if you are to complete all of this, look at all the benefits that you get. Right. We know you love zombies, so this is to make it even better for you. And for the thing that we have to think about it, we have been in the zombies community for a very, very long time. And we still have people who join the community every single day. Maybe Cold War was their first zombies game. They completed their first Easter egg. They're going back to something, let's say, BO2. They get wrecked. They get absolutely wrecked because they're not used to the systems about that. The system is downgraded for a lot of them. It's not fun. And we all love BO1, BO2, BO3 because it was a lot harder. But also we love BO3 because it was a little bit easier because of the Gobblegum system. And that's what people also loved about it. Just the simplicity of Gobblegums. Just to come in there and, we have all these kinds of weird effects. Oh, we can try and get them from it. That also makes the first casual player I need to get these Gobblegums. I need to get them because it makes me a little bit better at the game. Oh, I can get a Perkaholic. And that's the same thing that I see with this Easter egg. Is that, here we go. This is your first step to getting many. If you complete all of this, this reward is waiting for you, making it a lot easier. And I think it's a great step for Treyarch to do this, because even with the whole Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2 cycle that is coming up right now, you can still go back to this game, level up your Battle Pass from Cold War. And that is now basically easier to be done, because they know Vanguard Zombies isn't doing well. But they still want to get those zombie players in. That's why they're going back to round-based. That's why they're working on it, and that's why they're taking basically a season off, so they can work on that. That's why they gave us challenges. But if you want to complete zombie challenges, that's why they gave it to us. Here you go, purple weapon rarity. Go ahead, kill some zombies, get your Battle Pass XP, and complete that Battle Pass. We're doing this for you guys. That's my whole spiel on this.
Yeah, I mean, everything, there's a time and a place for everything, right? So I think if there's any time and place for Treyarch to really soak everything in and listen to the community, it's now.
Yes.
Because of how Vanguard Zombies not performing very well. Call of Duty in general really isn't performing very well at the moment. So, I mean, I think where, now is the time to really listen to the community, because we know they do. For people who say they don't listen to the community, they do. All the good and the bad, they listen to everything. I genuinely believe that. So with Vanguard now completely changing gears and going to round-based, I think that's a product of that. I think that's the result of them listening. And, I mean, I can only hope that Shi No Numa Reborn is a good reimagining of Shi No Numa. I am going into this with zero expectations, and I want to be completely surprised. And what they can do to change the round-based formula, what they can do to maybe spicing it up a little bit. Maybe there's something in this particular engine and this particular game style for Vanguard that maybe wasn't able to be doable in previous experiences. Maybe there's something new, maybe there isn't, but at the same time, I'm going to keep my expectations basically at zero, just to be surprised about everything.
Yes. And
we'll just go from there as a community. And if it sucks, it sucks. If it's good, it's good. I mean, that's kind of how we have to look at things right now. I think people really overcomplicate things nowadays with, I don't know. It just seems like everybody seems to be holding on by a thread by making all these excuses for things. When in reality, I think we need to start really seeing things for how they are.
Exactly.
And it's what's right in front of you, right? Like what's right in front of you, and what can you experience right now, and then what can you hope for the future? Because as consumers, not just even content creators right now, because I know the whole content creator thing, content creators kill the game and blah, blah, blah. Shut up. I'm just talking about as a consumer right now. I think it's just we get what we get, we give our criticisms, and then really don't think too much of it in terms of like, oh well, this should have been this and this should have been that, and now I'm angry and I'm gonna shit all over the developers and whatever, right? I think, like I said earlier, valid criticism is very important, but just completely shitting on a company and completely shitting on people that actually listen to you is not the way to go. But I guess long story short of this weird little ramble is I think we need to start not overthinking things as a community, and I think we need to really give definitive yes or no answers to what's going on with Call of Duty, because especially with the decline of Call of Duty right now, more and more I think we could potentially see that our wallets do matter. And the fact of the matter is, if Call of Duty does continue to decline, what we do say and how we do act will affect tomorrow with how this game is produced. So, simple criticisms, simple, not simple thought processes, because nothing is really simple in the gaming world. But I think we just got to kind of take it as it comes. If that makes sense.
No, that was great how you said that. No, I 100% agree with how you said everything. And the part that also has me intrigued is, I know how boring Vanguard can be, right? But you do have to say that Vanguard does bring some new stuff to the table that is worth experimenting with. And I think
of course.
a great thing that they added, I actually love the Covenant system. I really love how you can just go into a portal, just get your thing done, and then use a heart to upgrade a Covenant. It's basically a gobblegum of sorts that you can use. And it's just a gamble, like the gobblegums, to see, oh, are you going to get what you want, or are you going to experiment a bit with it? It is your playstyle. And with the Void objective, yeah, of course they added some sort of round base just to please everybody, but it's not round based, of course. But if you don't want to play, just do round based or anything, or go into another portal. It's your way to do it. And if you don't want to play, go exfil. Even if you are to play like 20 minutes a day, just give the mode a chance. That's what I always say with everything. Take the time that you can have on a game right now. You need to take this moment to play like 10 or 20 minutes a day, because this game is not going to be supported probably next year anymore. It's not going to be updated. We're going to go to Modern Warfare 2, and then we're going to have a zombies drought for who knows long. And then what are you going to do?
Yeah, to be honest, I think, and I don't know if I'm the only one for this sort of opinion. When we have a gap for zombies, I think it's both a good thing and a bad thing. Well, I mean, it's going to be a gap for like 2 years most likely, unless they do a free-to-play zombies game. But I think having no zombies or Vanguard zombies in a few ways is I'm not going to say better, because obviously they need to experiment with ideas, but it's refreshing for the community, because zombies at its core is a very simple mode.
Yes.
You spawn in, you shoot zombies, you go up around, rinse and repeat, you do an Easter egg, and then again, obviously there's a bunch of individual things you can do in each map that make them unique, make them, a certain reason why you go back to that map. So that's there as well. But what it comes down to is a very simple concept, but I think that's one of the reasons why we really enjoy the mode so much, because there's so much replay value in it, because you can always try and get a higher round. At least that's why I originally started playing the mode, to try and beat my friends' high rounds. Like that's why I originally came in for the mode. But having a break means that we can go back, appreciate the older games a little bit more. You're seeing it with Black Ops 4 kind of right now, because Vanguard obviously isn't really up to par in a lot of ways, and a lot of the community is going back to Black Ops 4 and saying, actually, this game, it might, the engine might not have been that great, and the HUD might not look that nice, but each map was really packed in with its own like individual stuff, and it made you feel like you were really immersed into it. And people are going back to that. People enjoy Black Ops Cold War for the actual gameplay itself. Yeah. And it means people can go back and enjoy the older games, and again relive them old memories and nostalgia of like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, even World at War a little, because we're not getting any new content, so you kind of have to go back and play the older stuff. Yeah. So I don't think that's bad anyway. Again, it sucks because we like new stuff, right? Us as people, we're made to consume content. It sounds like
no,
like Sora,
you gotta eat it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like it sounds quite bad, but like in a way, we are made to consume content. So whenever we get something new, I mean, when a new map drops, it's completely hype. Right, a normal survival map. Everyone's really excited for it, and people really want to play it. But I think it will really show what content creators for zombies, what they can do with so little. Kind of like now as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like you were saying there, it is honestly kind of a psychological game if you think about it, right? And what you were what you were saying there, it kind of ties into what I was saying about how we need to start making things a little more simple for ourselves. Yeah, and just kind of taking it as it comes, and see what to do. Give things a chance, and if it sucks, it sucks. If it's good, it's good. Yeah, and then then you get to decide whether you want to keep playing it or not. And it's honestly just very fucking simple to me. Yeah, I honestly don't understand why people will just constantly try to like shit on other people for their opinions, and try to, everyone thinks they have to be right about their opinions on a video game, which is very funny to me. Like, hey, I'm here to express my opinions, and I have Division Z podcast, Zcast, whatever podcast, right? People come together to express their opinions and talk ideas in a civil manner. Twitter is not a civil place. So
it's a battlefield.
you know, when you have people that, like Flamer was saying earlier, people very entitled. Yes, you are entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to changing somebody else's. So I think where a lot of people's shortcomings are is they just belittle people for no reason in this community. They belittle the developers, and it just doesn't help anybody. It really doesn't help anybody. Like I said, as long as you are giving actual valid criticism and not being a jackass about it, that's awesome. That's great. But if you're just straight up being like, wow, you suck, and you know, you suck because I don't like what you think and your hair is dumb, like that doesn't help anybody. And I noticed that a lot with this community, where everybody just argues with each other for no reason, and then, you know, someone puts an opinion on, and then it's like, how dare you have that opinion? I can't believe you think differently than me. That's just not acceptable. You know, it's just stupid. I mean, especially because this is supposed to be something we all come together and enjoy together, a video game, to have fun.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, some video games aren't going to be as fun as others. You know, my opinion, Vanguard is not as fun as Black Ops Cold War, and I'm going to give my critiques and my criticisms, and I'm going to be very confused as to what's going on with Vanguard. But if somebody out there genuinely likes Vanguard for some reason, I will not understand it. But if you love it and you think it's the best zombies experience in the world, fuck it, I guess.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, more power to you. You know, like,
I mean, it's very simple to me, especially because it's a video game. This isn't politics. This isn't like international security. This isn't.
Again,
keep it simple, people. Keep it simple.
Yeah, because I mean, when it comes to the end of the day, right? Video games. Okay. They're not something to take super seriously, right? Because they are video games. I know there's arguments for both, because in some aspects they are. Like, you know, if you're competitive shooter, you know, you're not competitive shooter. If you're like, if you're doing esports,
the context.
Yeah, right. Like, so esports, obviously it matters. You know, you could win $1 million. Of course, you know, take it seriously then, right? And even with zombies, you know, if you're going for like around 100, take it seriously. You know, take it seriously. But like, at the end of the day, video games are something that are made for us to enjoy. You know, so there's no point in getting super riled up about them trying to add in new stuff. And, you know, if you don't enjoy it, then it's fair enough. You can, you know, share your opinion why you enjoy it. But again, don't bash other people because they do enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, like you said, keep it simple. I mean, if you don't feel like there's any content to play, I just counted all the zombie maps that we've ever gotten. I can't remember what the number is, but there's like 70 zombie maps or 70 in Treyarch, IW, all added together, remasters and that as well. There are so many things you can go back and do if you're bored. I think the one argument I can say is if you feel like there's not anything currently to do for zombies, you know, then that's kind of fair enough, I guess, because like there's not a lot to like grind currently. I mean, there's Dark Ether and Vanguard. There's Dark Ether.
I'm still going slowly at it, but I'm finally done with my SMGs.
I mean,
I'm about to finish my shotgun, so...
I mean, listen. Shinonuma Reborn is going to make it super easy for people to go for them camos now, so
that's fair.
There's not even an issue. Like, it's because, yeah.
I'm about this close to giving up on Dark Ether for Vanguard, and I'll tell you why.
Why are you this close?
So, the other day, I was streaming, because I like to stream the videos that I make when I grind camos. So I was streaming myself getting gold for the well gun, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, guys, you know, there's the final camo pop up. That's awesome. Let's go check it out, right? And then Golden Viper didn't pop up on the screen. So I was like, whoa, hang on a second. Whoa. What's going on? What's going on here? We got hang on. So the 3 hours that I spent basically grinding out the well gun was all for nothing because one of the camo categories just straight up doesn't track in the game. Just straight up.
This happened to my SCG at the beginning.
The 7 attachment category straight up doesn't fucking track in the game right now.
It is so weird.
I just went, dude, like, what am I doing here? Why is this in the game? And why has this not been fixed yet? Because I know other people have had problems. I mean, obviously, you just said you've had problems. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Is that Is that a Treyarch problem or is that a Sledgehammer problem? Because you have too many cooks right now in the kitchen, and is it Treyarch's fault for the ways with the zombies camos, or is it Sledgehammer's fault because of progression in the game and how everything is like whatever? I don't know who to at on Twitter, really.
Yeah.
And to give actual valid criticisms to. And to say like, hey, by the way, I don't know if you guys are aware, this is broken. We cannot earn camos right now. Yeah. If they're aware of it. I mean, there are so many other problems with the game right now that I don't even know if they're aware of that problem. And they could be, they could not be. I don't know.
Stormkrieger shooting through walls, for example.
Yeah. Right. Stormkrieger's literally
Zabala being a health sponge.
Zabala existing
in general. Why is she in der Anfang? Like, she isn't supposed to be there. Why is she there? I said this as comparison, right? I said this as comparison. Imagine that you're playing a map like Shadows of Evil, and you already have the Margra. But then every single time that a new map comes out, you get that special enemy with it. Imagine that the time that Chronicles came out, that we had the Panzer from there, and the Reisendrache. You just get two of those Panzers on Shadows of Evil with the Margot chasing you. That's not fair. That's not fair. They don't belong there. What are they doing there? That's the same with Zabala. Why is she there? She's not supposed to be there. She does not exist in this timeline yet.
I would love, I mean, obviously it's not going to happen, but I don't know how many of these objective-based maps they're going to make. I would have loved to see obviously, right? They're done. There's no more. But I would love to see how many they originally had planned to make, whether that be 3 or 4, probably 4, right? And see how the maps played out with 4 enemy types. Because I can imagine they'd only get worse as they went along.
Yeah, because I was already looking into like the kind of intel that they gave, and it was looking that the next enemy was gonna be something like Invictor. Like that Taurus kind of guy.
Oh shoot! Okay.
So I was, that's gonna be interesting to see that just on the map, just smashing or something.
Yeah, just know he was gonna be a bullet sponge, and like he was gonna have some form of protection where you couldn't hit him. I mean, to me, it'd be kind of like seeing the original cut of the Sonic movie, right? I think we'd all like to see it. The weird. Like creepy looking, like feral Sonic, right? I think it'd be pretty funny to see. Like I would pay so much money to see that original cut, right?
There's anthropomorphic, and then there's whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, right. Like I don't get me wrong. They absolutely fixed Sonic, right, with the redesign, and obviously Sonic 2's come out, and it's supposed to be really good. But like in a way, it's something like that where I would like to. I mean, I would pay like $5 to see what their vision was for the end of the game. Like what would it look like? You know, what fun would Vanguard Zombies be? But I guess again, looking at it sounds like I'm overpit, bruh. Come on. I mean, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Again, I think we have to appreciate, no matter how bad the game was probably going to be if they kept going down this route, the fact they changed it. They've completely scrapped that concept, and it shows they're listening because they're completely scrapping the concept that they want to try, or they wanted to try. I don't think we'll ever know. It was probably Activision's saying, "Hey, Outbreak's doing good. Try something else new," and then I mean,
try again in the future, though.
Yeah, obviously.
I sincerely hope that they tried the objective thing in the future, whether it's an expanded Outbreak 2. Whatever it is, I hope they try again, because obviously this is an experiment that didn't go over so well with the community, and you know what? It just happens sometimes, and they took the criticism, and here we are. So
I mean, ideally for me, right, for the perfect zombie game, here's how it would work: a zombie story mode, which is based on like progressing with like zombies in its own like kind of universe with like the story happening there, right? Obviously, I know we have Nightmares mode, which is awful, but it wouldn't play like that because it'd be built around the idea of zombies, right? You had your standard survival, you had your raid modes where you went from one point of the map, fighting your way through zombies, like you couldn't get past, like kind of like Left 4 Dead, right? Until you got to a boss fight at the end, and you got a reward for every time you completed it, whether that be a weapon variant or like, something, right? Something to make you want to play it again to unlock something new. Open world zombie mode. And I think if they had that all on disc and it all working well, that would be great. Obviously, there's a lot at once, so I wouldn't even be bothered if they just started off with like the standard survival mode, and then they would add things like as time would come over the next 3 or 4 years of the game releasing, obviously. So, yeah, I think I know we're not really talking about this, but for the next Treyarch game, I think we should all say one thing that we want in the game. I think that'd be a good idea, because obviously with what's happened now, people be disappointed with the Super Easter egg info. I think the majority of us here aren't really disappointed. We're just kind of like, it was all right.
Yeah,
I think we should all state
it wasn't too bad. It was not too great. It was just okay.
Yeah, I think a good way to round things off is if we all said one thing we want to see in the next zombie game that would really matter to us. I think that would be a good way to look towards the future and not the past with zombies and Vanguard, and Cold War and whatever, right? Cold War Super Easter egg. So, how's that sound to you guys?
I mean, I'll go first with that then. All I'm going to say is expanding the customization of Cold War. I think Cold War lays the fantastic blueprints for customization, kind of an RPG kind of a style of zombies experience. Even though obviously this isn't like the wizard class and the warrior class. And
hey yo, Wardenlands.
But I think this could actually build the blueprint for that, where you have the crystals, and the crystals upgrade certain tiers, and the crystals can also improve your weapons, whatever, right? I mean, I think there could definitely be some kind of system there to even further expand upon the nitty-gritties of what actually comes down to it at the end of the day when it comes to a zombie experience. What those things are, I'll let Treyarch decide if that's even a thing that's going to happen. Again, this is just speculation, and this is just an idea. So, I'm not going to be someone on Twitter and expect them to use my idea because I said it. So, hey, I think that could be kind of cool. I just think that that would be the next logical progression, to be honest, of just, have everything, have the customization like Cold War, but then more and more in depth, whatever that might be, whatever new thing that they bring to the game. Maybe it's Covenants again. Who fucking knows? I mean, you get some crystals, and then you're you get an upgrade where the Covenant rarities are more frequent or something. I don't know, like something like that. Expanding upon Cold War's formula. That's what I want to see in the next game, and plenty of Dr. Peck because he's underrated. I'm not. Hey, look. I'm not like those people on Twitter, right? That have those like Dr. Peck
I was waiting for
pictures,
you to say
right?
it.
I'm not like simping over Dr. Peck or anything, but I do want to see him expand as a character, and I do want to see Richtofen and his character development and who he is, being the director of a program like Requiem.
Because we still don't know what Janus is. What is Janus?
Yeah, Project. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I mean, also, like, if we get to see some of Max's in the Dark Ether, what's actually kind of funny about this? Actually, now that I think about it, Kingdom Hearts.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
So, here's what I'm thinking. All right. It's kind of funny how things are kind of lined up here. Dude, we love that. So Max is in the Dark Ether. Mm-hmm. Aqua was in the Realm of Darkness.
Yes.
Then you have the crew that, they're kind of down on their luck right now. They got to defeat the big bad guys in the Dark Ether, right? We're in the Kingdom Hearts universe. Sora and all them got to defeat the big bad guy in Xehanort. And then the big bad guy was the Forsaken, but the Forsaken isn't entirely dead. I don't know here. I'm trying to draw these connections here. What's gonna be happening in the next game? We're gonna have some big battle in the Dark Ether. Are we gonna have like a fucking Call of Duty Keyblade graveyard with all the ray guns of Operators Past, all the fucking sticking out of the ground and shit? Like, what's going on here?
I need someone to draw fan art of that immediately.
Like, I don't know, man. I mean, if you think about it too, it's kind of funny. Omega could be Organization 13 if they bring in like more people, and like Organization 13, and you got like the Forsaken, who's actually a misguided good guy who wants to cleanse the world of evil, and he thinks humans are evil, and he wants to stop the Cold War or something. I don't know. Like maybe maybe there's some kind of huge storyline here that I might be looking way too deep into here with my theories. But I'm seeing some parallels to Kingdom Hearts here. I don't know if you guys are. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's all I gotta say.
So in the next game, we're all gonna die, and then we're gonna go to a different world. Gotcha.
Dude,
we're gonna go to the Chaos universe. That's it.
Dude, if you can reanimate things with dark ether energy, why can't you reanimate dead characters that die off or something? Yo, Kravchenko zombie, because dark ether. That's it.
You're basically calling Kravchenko Springtrap from FNAF now.
I always come back.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
I just imagine him coming out of the tank saying that to us.
Dude.
I'm gonna make that after this. Just the moment that he opens it up.
Kravchenko in the Springtrap suit.
Bruh. The new Five Nights at Freddy's lore. Five Nights at Freddy's X COD Zombies event.
Oh boy.
Why not? Dude, if Godzilla and King Kong can be a thing on Caldera, why not Five Nights at Freddy's? I want to run around shooting people as Freddy Fazbear.
We still have to talk about that.
Let's talk about Godzilla now. Let's do it.
But
Godzilla, King Kong,
big
monsters, they go boom.
Because we were all gonna say something that we wanted in the zombie game, right?
Right, I got carried away.
Yeah.
Just before we go into Godzilla territory, what I would like to see is a return of the difficulties, which they did in BO4.
Oh yeah.
But I want it expanded. I want it to be rewarding. So you have basically your casual to like a hardcore Easter egg in a way, so that you can get a casual reward, normal reward, hardcore reward, and maybe even nightmare reward or something. Like they could do so much with that. You've been saying like a Destiny kind of raid. I've been thinking about how they could do that with Call of Duty Zombies, and I was thinking that before we even had Terra Maledicta, I was thinking like, oh, we have to bond with the demons. So what if we have to like fuse the artifact together in like a boss type of way? So we have to fight the corrupted version of that keeper or something, you know, corrupted keeper. And then once we beat that version, we get the new field upgrade, like healing aura. Imagine that we had to fight Verkana because she was corrupted by the dark ether. And then we had to get her on our side. And then, like, a month before the next map comes out, you're able to use the healing aura until everybody can use it. I think that would have been really cool to see a raid kind of way. And I also saw with, like, Shinonuma, like, oh, yo, we got, like, these stairways going down, so maybe, like, underground we have to go there. And we already knew she was, like, the mother of nature, so, oh, shit, she's gonna be underground, we're gonna be fighting in a big-ass boss fight arena. I was overthinking a lot of things for Vanguard. But
that sounds great, man.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
I really hope that we get that.
I mean, for me, I think it would have to be, I guess it's kind of like two things. Would have to be, one, the return of a currency that you could use to unlock stuff, and two, weapon variants. And very similar to the ones in IW, because I think one thing Zombies is lacking is a little bit like grind factor. So I think having like an IW system would give you a reason to constantly play, whether you're going for high rounds or doing Easter eggs. You'd be earning something alongside constantly. And I know we kind of had that with Cold War and being able to unlock like tiers and stuff. But after you've unlocked everything, that's pretty much it. I guess the same argument could be made here with like weapon variants. But if each weapon had like 5 different variants and you had to unlock them going through the whole weapon tree. So let's say you had your base weapon, then you had like a common, uncommon, epic, legendary, right? And the legendary variant perhaps did something different compared to the first one, where, let's say, I don't know, let's say, for example, you had a Steiner shotgun, right? When you had that at the highest variant of it, you could have a dual-wield version of that shotgun. And it just means you
like the operator mods in BO4, basically.
Yeah, like that, right?
Yeah.
Even if it was the case where once you got to that final legendary variant or whatever, you could unlock a secret attachment or something for it to make it super like different and fun, or like some LMGs that maybe let's
like
say
a
for
mythical
example,
rarity or something. Like make it the best of the best. I think that would be really interesting to see in Call of Duty, and I think you could have that with difficulty increasing as well, like mixing both of our ideas together. Like imagine that you start off in normal, of course, but then once you get to mythic, you can go ahead and get more damage output on the zombies, turning them basically into normal damage. Like first off, it's going to be hard, but when you have mythical firepower, it's going to be a bit more easier, but it's not going to be too easy.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like something I would probably want in the game, just to bring a bit more of that grind factor back. In terms of like other stuff like Gobblegums and that, like, you know, I'm not really too. Like, I know people are really upset that they didn't make a return. And I can understand, you know, they were really fun to use, but in terms of like a balancing aspect, maybe it's better that they're just not in the game. Again, I really enjoyed using them. I thought they were really fun. If they did bring them back, it'd be, you know, great. But I don't know. I'm not too fussed about that. But weapon variants is something I definitely like to see.
Right.
I like that too.
Same. I think all our ideas are pretty cool, and that there's just so much creativity. I wish that there was just like what they did. Did you guys see like the Sora Smash reveal for like Super Smash Bros? Like Sakurai was talking like, oh, we did a poll in 2013 with like who you guys wanted as your favorite character, and he knew that Sora was the highest, so he tried his best to get it done like so many years later. And I wish Treyarch were to do that, or Call of Duty in general with that, like open up a poll with fan stuff like, what would you guys like to see in zombies or multiplayer or whatever, so that we can exactly give us some input on what we would like to see. And maybe even with like there are petitions and stuff, we can make it happen. And of course it's not always going to be able to be done because of money and resources and everything, but you can just give them an idea to work on, and maybe they can work from that into implementing it for their next games. And I wish Call of Duty was to do that, because it would be so much easier for people to be like, okay, I don't like this. Please, this is here. This is what I submit to you guys to change it. Not like the forums, like, oh, yeah, this is broken or anything, because they don't read the forums. We know that, but have like an open way for people to see it, and also let other people react to it in a way. Like, oh, maybe we can improve it by doing this, and make it like its own Trello board. Like, oh, we can do this and this and this. Just keep it going. Right. Just to give them a basic idea of what we would like to see in the game. I mean, I'm going back to IW with this. IW did a great way with this. They went on for their final DLC, and I saw that tweet yesterday. It's like, okay guys, we have this idea for 2 Fate and Fortune cards. Which one would you guys like to see? Packing Heat or Skull Hacker? Like or retweet? And then like and retweet was almost equal to it, but of course Skull Hacker was the winner of that. And they're still like, okay, you guys both like our ideas, so we're gonna work on both of them. That's community feedback.
Why not, right?
That's what I'm missing with these next Call of Duty developers. Like, come on, we need some community feedback.
Yeah, I mean, I think with now kind of shifting gears from Treyarch, right? Because we know Treyarch is very community oriented when it comes to zombies. Kind of shifting gears and talking about developers and even publishers, Activision needs to listen more, and especially Sledgehammer needs to listen more. I genuinely do not know what is going on over there.
Nope.
And you know what? I know nobody will get the full scope of what happens behind the scenes at any studio, let's be honest. But none of us have any idea what's going to be happening from week to week when it comes to Vanguard, or even Warzone for that matter, because everything is so strange. Everything is just in such a weird spot right now. Like, oh my god, guys! Oh, Warzone is so broken. And personally, this is what happens to me. I get lagged out of my games for like no reason, even though I'm connected to an internet. The error message is, please connect to the internet in order for you to. No, I'm connected. I'm streaming it half the time. It's like
exactly
I have that connection. So it's like there's all these broken things. Please help us. Let us enjoy your game. Did you guys say Godzilla? Like,
yes.
Like, here's the thing. I don't mind a crossover event. I don't. And honestly, I don't have that much to say about the Godzilla thing right now, just because I haven't experienced it. The trailer looked cool. Some of the bundles in the store look kind of cool. Some of the honestly, some actually good looking bundles for Vanguard, the first of its kind, I think. And yeah, I mean, it seems all right. I mean, we'll see what happens when the event comes. It could be interesting. I like that there's new locations on Caldera, and I guess we'll just see how that plays out. But I mean, again, I don't necessarily have a problem with crossover events like this, but if the game is completely broken still and things aren't working as the way they're supposed to, it's going to put a damper on things. It's definitely going to put a damper on things, and I understand where people are coming from.
Yeah.
Even the people who, like, for example, I know it put a damper on things for Black Ops 4. I know people didn't like Black Ops 4 because it was crashing and glitching, whatever. And I liked Black Ops 4 more because I didn't really experience any of that at launch.
Exactly.
However, for the most part, that's more or less fixed now. And Black Ops 4 is a game that works. Vanguard is still not a game that works. And things are still the way they were in the beta. And packet burst, and latency variation, and connectivity issues, and camos not tracking, and a slew of issues that have been there since the beginning that haven't been fixed, and nothing's really happening. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that Sledgehammer has really listened to is they added a trophy system. That's it.
Oh, did you guys see the challenge for that? That is...
I did.
Oh, yes, you cat to not die to a grenade for, what, 15 games?
Right.
I mean, the thing is, right?
It's doable.
Yeah, but it's so. I mean, I'm gonna go in Vanguard right now, and I'm just gonna kill. I'm gonna bring Semtex grenades with me. I'm just gonna go around and kill everyone.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm just gonna go around.
Vanguard
oh god!
I just threw Semtexes and I threw just frag grenades, and I just heard the death mic, and I was laughing my ass off.
The thing is, right? Is it's such a silly. Like, why? Why would you make that a challenge? Like, it's so...
Especially because they said it would be available for you to use immediately.
Exactly, and that's what they also lied about. Because...
So, yeah.
Which one was the one on Cold War again? The field upgrade? That was immediately available on multi? Let me have it... Oh,
all of them?
Yeah, I believe it was all of them, right?
Literally all of them. Like, you could... I mean, of course you have to level up, right? But, like, when you get past the general ranks, and all of them, like, it...
I think I see this as, like, okay, people aren't playing our game. We're down numbers. We need more people to play our game. So what we'll do is we'll make a really silly challenge for this, this field upgrade, which will be kind of useful. Don't get me wrong. A trophy system, in Vanguard especially, because we know what the grenades and that are like in that game. People are going to want to use it. So let's put... for a silly, just long, tedious challenge where they're not going to get it every game, and there's nothing they can do about it because you know exactly what's going to happen. 50% of people are going to be in there with, trying to avoid grenades, and 50% of people in there are going to use grenades to kill them people because it's funny. Because it's so dumb.
Yeah. The problem I have with this challenge is that this has nothing to do with player skill. That's the problem I have with this challenge. It's literally just dependent on other people not being trolls or, people maybe even just genuinely playing the game that don't know that the trophy system is in the game now. I don't know. A challenge should be based off of player skill and not, someone else is going to throw a grenade my way. Like, I know you can avoid the grenade and whatever, but what if you get stuck? What if you get whatever? And it's like, oh, cool. I have literally nothing to do.
Is Flat Jacket in the game?
Flat Jacket is in the game, yeah.
Okay, well, that makes it a little bit better, but at the same time, it's like, if someone chucks 2 grenades at you, you're probably going to die anyway, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, but it's also funny because they basically count the war machine as grenades. So people that get the war machine...
then, yeah, you can't really stop that. You're just going to have to hide at the back of the map and hope no one runs over
a grenade. Oh, no.
Guess what 90% of the population uses in multiplayer?
And the thing as well is, right, you're going to see so many people leave the game, because once you die to a grenade, it's like, well, there's no point me being here anymore.
I just went into like a game of Vanguard when I saw the chance. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna see how long I survive. I saw somebody died of grenade, left. Somebody joined, died of grenade, left. It was just that the whole time. I think like 7 to 8 people left because they died to grenades. Because people can be trolls and they see this kind of thing like, oh yeah, baby. Like, they just want to make people misery, and this is not the way to go with that. If they were to do a challenge for a freaking trophy system, they should have just done it like, oh, get like this amount of frag kills.
Dude.
Just to make it fun for everybody.
Or do what you did before. Put in the battle pass, like with the incendiary grenade. Just put in the battle pass. Yeah. Like,
why did they put those things in the battle pass? Come on. And like kill cam feeds?
I don't know. What
is this?
Well, instead of avoiding grenades, wouldn't it have been like a better chow? I mean, I guess it's still kind of annoying, but like, you can throw back a grenade.
Oh.
Would it make more sense?
Fire, you mean?
Do 3 of them or something. I know that's still completely based on luck and stuff, but like, that sounds better than. Again, it's based on luck.
Yeah.
It should be something
where 50 matches.
It should be something where it's like. It should be something where it's like. Yeah, you do something, but not like not like the way they're trying to make you do it. It just sounds.
It's always funny to me. Yeah, it's always funny to me how these. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was just gonna say, I mean, who comes up with these ideas? Like who everyone's around the table, like like the big boss at the end, like, right, we need more people to play our game. Who has ideas on how to get people to play our game? Kevin, give me one idea, or you're fired right now. And then he gives them the idea, and
guys.
It's not.
I got an idea. I got a great idea, guys. We're gonna be trolls like we're used to be, okay? So that people know who we are, because we're Sledgehammer Games. We like to troll people. So we're gonna give them what they want, but they're gonna have to not get hit by grenades for 50 matches.
What's funny about the whole thing too? Like all these challenges in modern Call of Duty games have been super.
Weird?
What's the word I'm looking for? No, like not weird. They're just not unnecessary. Because challenges, weapon challenges. I'm trying to think of a different word here, but for lack of a better term, the numbers and the quantity of whatever you have to do is too high.
Yeah,
for like all this stuff, right? And even for Cold War, I love Cold War, but some of those challenges were absurd. Absurdly ridiculous too.
Don't talk to me
like
about
right
all
now.
Those melee weapon. I went on Nuketown Games for 50 matches and I got it unlocked. It said I had it unlocked. It reset itself fully.
I mean,
yeah, it's just dumb.
I don't know what's going on with that, with weapon challenges and all that. It's just very it's very strange. But yeah, I don't know. It's just everything's in a weird spot right now with Call of Duty, with Warzone, with everything. The Super Easter Egg, people have mixed results, mixed feelings about, not mixed results because the result's pretty damn clear. Mixed feelings about it. Who knows? Who knows where we're going from here?
We'll see.
But
we'll have apparently 2
2
more seasons after this because season 6 is no longer continued.
I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, why would they want to continue to, from Activision's perspective, why would you want to continue to update a game that's losing players every day, that's not performing as well as other Call of Duty games? Why would you want to do that? Especially for a company like Activision. Now, obviously, they're going to wring dry it, right? They're just going to squeeze as much money out of Vanguard as humanly possible here with these bundles and
the
whole reason
this is legit the game with the
right?
most crossovers that we've seen, just because they're trying to get more money out of it. I mean, Attack on Titan is already a guaranteed money bender for anime fans, and now the Godzilla versus Kong thing, it's probably gonna even introduce a new movie. So what if we complete like the event and we see like the new trailer first? Like that will get people in.
They're fully the team that make like the movies for like Godzilla and stuff. I think they fully said that they're really planning on expanding the universe even further.
Yeah,
and to expect Godzilla and King Kong on the same screen again, which which I'm all down for because.
And
I don't know about you guys, but I totally remember learning World War II history and
with Godzilla.
How King Kong helped us storm the beaches of Normandy. I mean, I think that's my favorite part of history.
I mean,
Jason, to be frank.
Jason, we went over this in the last episode of our podcast. Godzilla technically could have been there. He's billions of years old to the research I did.
Look,
so technically he was a veteran.
Let me actually
technically.
See, when was King Kong?
It depends on what sort of thing you look at. Some say 50 years, whatever. Some say he was made due to radiation. But if you look at it, he's been around for billions, or not billions, millions of years. So,
actually,
I mean, who knows, right?
King Kong could have helped because it was set in 1933.
How old would he been?
Oh, great!
More canon. IRL canon.
Where is Godzilla set then? Godzilla.
Like, you know what's funny to me too is you could go about this in one of two ways. One, this is completely canon to the Call of Duty universe because Butcher is literally narrating this to Mason and Adler and everybody else in the bunker.
What the actual fuck has this man smoked in here?
It's like that meme with the like the confused face meme, right? Like that's got to be Mason. That's got to be Mason. Just completely going, dude, what the fuck are you saying? We're like we went from Caldera, now we're in the Alps, and now Godzilla. What? Here's the thing, right? You can either say it's canon and there are actually things in the Call of Duty universe, right? Which could be possible at this point. Anything's fucking possible, I guess. Or two, I like what Spider-Man was saying earlier in the chat. Not in this chat, but previously, that Butcher is just fucking with them, right? Like Butcher's just straight up like, yeah, and you got Godzilla and you got King Kong over here, and they they helped us stop the Nebula 5, and Mason's like, yeah, okay, sure, dude, whatever, get to the real fucking story, and then this is like completely filler because they don't know what to do, so let's do a crossover. I don't know.
I mean, the part is we went from Nova 5 gas or Nebula 5 or something like that to King Kong. How does that work?
I think definitely. I don't think it could be canon. Like, obviously Warzone is canon, right? I don't think to the grand scheme of things, it's like, are they going to continue their Call of Duty universe with the fact that Godzilla and King Kong are fucking our real thing? Like, zombies can be for canon, right? Because I mean, that we're familiar with that. Zombies isn't like an outlandish idea, I guess, in a lot of ways, right? But a ginormous lizard that breathes like radiate. Okay, I said zombies wasn't outlandish. It's very outlandish.
Hang on a second. Hey, whoa! Demons and gods and like
fair enough.
Creatures.
Fair enough, right? Fair enough. I take that statement back. I retract that statement. Something you can't do on Twitter once you've said it is already out there. Oops. But I take back that statement. And let me try and rephrase it. We're familiar with zombies because it's been in the franchise for however long, right? And obviously with their development and what they're wanting to do, it makes it a lot easier for them if the Cold War Zombies story is ingrained into the actual story of Cold War and zombies and stuff in general, right? Like that's what we can kind of agree on, right? Yeah, we can agree on that because fair enough. Godzilla and King Kong, that's kind of like on another level. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I
get what you're saying. I know this is like, I know this is like I know it's supposed to be a crossover thing and whatever. Like, I know it doesn't. I know it can't be canon, but at the same time, I don't know why. I see it being canon at the same time because
I can imagine
it is season 3.
There'll be a cutscene in like Call of Duty, like Black Ops 7, whatever it's called, right? And it's like kids in history class, and the teacher's like, oh, and this is when Godzilla helped us, beat the Germans. And then King Kong came along and they had a little rumble with each other. And then a giant robot Godzilla came in and started shooting them with lasers. And then
the only thing is one of the main reasons why I see this being canon is because I honestly don't see that the Vanguard writers having any extra ideas. Like, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Like, they've told their story in the campaign. Whatever the story was, right? I mean, we talked about that before too. How that's kind of all over the place with, the Vanguard writers themselves don't even think there's iconic Call of Duty characters. And like I don't even think they. Here's the thing, with these operators that are coming out season by season, they don't fucking talk.
Yeah,
they don't talk. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, you're just some random person who just shows up and fights people. Like, I don't get it. Like, I know you can read the bio and they get a paragraph of somebody, but a paragraph doesn't show me your character and doesn't make me care. That's why the Cold War characters and operators and cutscenes made me care, because I got to see who they were. I got to see what they were good at, their personalities. You know, Jackal's an insane motherfucker who uses violence for everything. Kitsune is a sly hacker, you know, cool gal. You got Naga, the forest assassin, who's kind of cunning and he knows his way around a knife. And like, I don't know, like I can tell you things about these operators in Cold War. I can't tell you shit about any of the operators in Vanguard because I don't know what the fuck they do besides show up, shoot shit, and go home.
You can talk about one guy you know really well. He's from our age. Snoop Dogg.
Hey, I forgot about that.
I actually bought him.
Did you?
He's actually the best operator for zombies.
If anything, that shows you that a fucking celebrity is the best operator in the game for a lot of people, and the original characters aren't. What does that tell you? Like, I don't know. To me, that just tells you that nobody really resonates with these characters. No. I don't resonate with these characters in Vanguard at all.
There's no personality to them. I mean, there is, but it's like there's that like a slice of
bread.
It's
very one behind the campaign on their own set. And after that, they just go to battle together. But the one part that is annoying with the ending of the campaign is indeed that they confirm that zombies is canon. Because they say, like, oh, resurrection, German zombies or something, you know, reawakening the undead. But then there's all these bunch of videos and folders behind them. So they can just say like, hey, oh, Godzilla's canon because it was right there in those intel. Everything is regarding to intel these days.
And in a way, right? And hear me out here. You know how every Call of Duty is connected to the same universe now, going forward?
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of ways, that's a good idea, right? In a lot of ways, it's going to be quite hard for stuff to keep canon, right? Like, I know, I kind of like in hindsight, I thought it was a really good idea, and I'm really excited that these universes are going to be connected together. But we have two completely different project ideas, right? Let's say like Modern Warfare, and then you had like, you know, or let's say Treyarch and Infinity Ward, right? Infinity Ward want to make the super realistic campaign, with you know all these real life world situations that taking place and trying to tell like a serious story, right? And then you have, you know, Treyarch with their zombies mode and all that stuff, and that being canon, and then you have Warzone with Godzilla and that.
I mean, like, we had zombies in Warzone as well, and we had Ghost in Warzone, which has all been confirmed to be canon. Like all those events that happened before.
I mean,
are canon.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, in that case, I guess that like Godzilla and that will probably be canon, because it's not. I mean, yeah. I think that would be canon then. I would expect it to be canon. Because I don't think anything's not been canon in Warzone yet, has it?
Right.
No, everything has been.
Then that would also mean that Nakatomi Plaza is canon, Die Hard is canon in the Call of Duty universe, Rambo is canon in the Call of Duty universe, Ghostface is canon in the Call of Duty. Like, this has opened up a can of worms for them. They kind of wrote themselves into a corner here.
Yeah, and that's why they want to redo everything with Warzone 2, basically.
Yeah.
Because look at the mess that they created.
Even the past stuff is still connected. Because also, Modern Warfare 2, is that going forward with all the previous stuff installed? Because it kind of, I mean, if they're doing a new Warzone, right? Obviously, it'll have to be a completely separate entity to Modern Warfare 2 and just be by itself a complete like a complete new fresh slate. Because everything that's happened previously is still canon in the few games that they've done. So in Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, and Vanguard, and all the stuff in Warzone, and it will have Modern Warfare 2 as well, will have to be canon to all that as well.
Yeah.
Is that those are all connected, right?
Those are all connected. So that's what they confirmed.
Essentially what they've done here is that they've kind of screwed themselves over. They're going to have to start doing like plot holes, right? Because it's either going to be Modern Warfare 2, either that's only connected to the Modern Warfare universe, Modern Warfare 2019, and then Modern Warfare, you know, 2022. Yeah, that would be So that would be the only canon in that, and the new Warzone would be in the main canon. Or they have all these games the main canon, all the main series games being canon. Original Warzone being canon, but this new Warzone that isn't canon. Which
this is what ends up happening when you try to be Marvel.
Yeah, because
I'll be honest with you.
Because it sounds like they're trying to do a Marvel, but it's completely like thingied over. Because I mean, with something like I don't know the story that's happened in Fortnite and stuff, right? But with Fortnite, obviously, there's an ongoing story, and there's all these events and that happen. But I don't think it matters too much because it's one continuous game. It's not all these developers trying to have different ideas and tell series stories because they completely conflict with each other. World War II and Modern Warfare era games, fine, right? But then you do all these events where it doesn't really make sense. And it's really, what do you follow? Because, I mean, myself, I'm not a big story person, so I don't really care, right? But from, like, a fan of storytelling in general, whether that's movies, games, whatever, right? I'm looking at this and thinking, they're going to have to think really hard how this is all going to make sense at the end. Because, okay, Modern Warfare 2, zombies in that era, right? Not zombies. Modern Warfare 2, serious campaign setting, right? Then Black Ops, whatever the next game is, zombies in... Let's say zombies is like a few years later or earlier. In Modern Warfare 2, are they going to acknowledge that? Because then the studios is going to have to tell them what they're planning of doing in their game. They probably all have to plan together like what they're planning of doing and what big events are going to happen when and where, so that it becomes, like because I bet Infinity Ward like in their offices writing their finishing up Modern Warfare 2, and then they see that shit Godzilla and King Kong are being introduced. What? Like what I mean?
And so the weird part about that is because
that's the thing. I think with
no worries. Let me just go fast. You have these operators that are usable in Modern Warfare right now from all these games. Cold War, right. Vanguard. So you're gonna somehow see somebody from the 80s in Modern Warfare 2019, but soon you're also gonna be seeing freaking King Kong and Godzilla just running about. Hell, even Snoop Dogg right now.
Yes.
I think in that case, and I think with the cosmetics as well, we can class as like the cosmetics as not necessarily being important to canon. Right? Kind of like how, perfect example, Cold War Zombies, you can save Samantha Maxis by playing Samantha Maxis.
Mm-hmm.
Where those aren't necessarily canon too much, but the events and ongoings that happen around,
right.
These play non-named characters that don't really have any impact with them, they matter. Right? The events going on. So no matter which way you do it, it's like, even if the cosmetics don't matter, all these things still happen.
That's why I asked Kevin Drew on Twitter, like, are there any operators that you guys would actually consider to be the canon crew? Just out of curiosity, just to see what they would see, because obviously it doesn't matter who the operators you play as are. But if they had it, if they had it to where it was, these are the characters for the story, and this is whatever, like, who would they be? Would it be Woods? Would it be Adler? Would it be these characters? And I guess I kind of don't blame them for not answering, because then if they were to answer that, then it would open up a whole other can of worms to be like, oh, well, fuck, Adler's canon in zombies. Well, okay. And then everything gets even more confusing, right? So, I mean, that's the thing with the operators, right? The operators don't necessarily matter, but it's definitely the events and how everything kind of relates to each other and how everything just needs to make sense. Where I think what they're trying to do right now is, they're trying to combine all these universes together, but at the same time, there's just a lot of creative differences between these studios. And because so many studios out there, I'm not even talking about gaming studios, I'm just talking about like movies in general, they want their Marvel moment. They want their Infinity War, they want their Endgame, they want all these characters to be in the same universe and interact with each other, and make it this huge revelation of like, whoa, the Iron Man knows Spider-Man, like you know what I'm saying? Where it's almost like a cross universe big thing, and then big epic battle, and then oh, it's all crazy, guys. Whoa, look at everything crossing over. But then you got to have substance to that too. Why is everything crossing over? Why? We need more character motivations. We need more of an explanation.
Yeah.
I think with Vanguard right now, there's like no explanation with anything that has anything to do with anything.
Yeah.
Like Nebula 5. What the fuck is Nebula 5? What happened to Nova 6? What happened to that? What's going on here? And it just seems like the Vanguard writers are like trying to force their whatever they're trying to create into this universe. It doesn't feel natural.
I think it's because they want to tell their own story, but again, they're limited to like what everyone else has done. And I think again, Marvel is a good comparison. I think Marvel are the only like sort of studio, I guess you could say in a way, like film studio or game studio, whatever, to like bring all these stories together and for it to work well. Obviously, there's plot holes here and there, and we ignore them because we know how much of a grand scale the story is they're trying to tell. But obviously, with COD, it's quite hard to give so much personality to each individual character with probably only a combined 10 minutes of screen time per campaign, 10, 20 minutes or whatever, So I think that doesn't really work for them as well. And I think in a way that's why maybe it isn't such a bad idea to have again, I know we were all praising it because it all, sounds like a good idea on paper, right? But trying to do all these things at once with all these conflicting stories, because it's not like they all work in the same studio.
I think it is good. I honestly, I do think crossing over the universes can be a good thing. There needs to be
direction with what's happening.
Yeah, there needs to be.
And there needs to be well planned out thoughts, right? Like I think I don't know what they do, but I think there must be a storyboard, right, of what games they're working on in the future, and they have to write big events that are going to happen in each game. Like, okay, so there's going to be something that happens here, here, and here. Make sure your games line up with whatever's happening here and here. So whatever you do in your game, you can do your own thing, but you have to keep in mind that this is our thing. And maybe like future games are like they write down what their big ideas are for that, so that the previous game doesn't write a conflicting story.
Right.
I can only imagine the writer's room for zombies.
I know.
All this, right?
Because everything's canon, so it's like, where do we put in zombies?
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, it's very, very odd.
100%.
I don't know, man. I think this is like I said earlier, an uncertain future. Everything's very confusing, but I mean, we move forward, we talk about it, we have fun, and then just see what happens, I guess, at the end of the day. I mean, if you were to ask me to predict the future of Call of Duty, I would not be able to. I would be like, I have no fucking idea because of just how everything is the way it is right now. I could give ideas for what I would like to see and theories and things like that, but I can't even begin to think about what's going to be happening next.
No, I think we just see what comes.
Exactly.
we just see what comes and see how it holds up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said at the beginning. That's what I said earlier, man. Just see it as it comes. Take it
Roll
as it
the
comes.
punches.
Roll with the punches. Give criticism, and don't overcomplicate everything.
And even with all these events and everything, this is gonna be like a once in a lifetime thing that's gonna happen. It's not gonna return, so enjoy it however you can. If you're gonna see King Kong and Godzilla battle it out in Warzone, and maybe you lag out once or twice, that can happen. It's something that is experimental. But enjoy what I was saying as well with zombies. Enjoy what you can have, because this is only a limited time. Like, who would have thought 10 years ago when we were shooting in World of War with World War II guns, we're going to be seeing 10 years later, we're going to be seeing Godzilla and King Kong fight it off together on an island while we're fighting off against them. Like, you cannot predict the future with all of this. And they're trying to innovate. And I think it's a really cool idea that we're also able to help out one of the monsters in a way for whoever you want to win. Because did you guys see that you're able to shoot at them?
Yeah.
And
so
it's going to be interesting, because we know, of course, that they don't die because of the movies and everything, but they could still grant you rewards. Imagine that if you killed Godzilla, he dropped like a pistol blueprint of sorts for everybody there. And for King Kong, it will be like a melee club that's based on their appearance. That's also what I was saying with this whole event. Imagine just killing Godzilla. He's gonna fall onto the ground, but his body's gonna lay there. It's not gonna disappear. It's just gonna stay there, and it's gonna be like another POI you could go on. You could climb on his back. You can battle out on his back.
Just play around in his fucking carcass and his guts.
Just his mouth is opening up, the radiation.
Like the Apothicon all over again from Revelations, but it's King Kong's guts.
Copy and paste. But yeah.
Sure, why not?
God damn it.
I think Apothicons for Warzone 2 for zombies.
If there's ever going to be a great war, it's got to be on a Warzone map at this point.
I think so. I think that's what they're definitely just going to do, aren't they?
I mean, it's a Warzone map at such a great scale that it would work. And it's not. I don't think it's a far-fetched idea either, because we've had zombies events on Warzone before. So, I mean, if a great war were to happen, I think it would be on Warzone, and the entire lobby would be a team of 100 people versus a team of 100,000 zombies. So.
Or
yeah,
I mean,
that would be
versus
something.
Apothicons. They could do what they did with like the
they could.
Avengers LTM.
Yeah, if you want your Marvel moment, there's your Marvel moment.
Yeah. Just have it out, battle it out. Keepers versus Apothicons. We don't know who wins, but no, you can make anything happen. And imagine that one of the instead of like calling in sorceries, you're calling like the Apothicon beings or something. Like that giant keeper dude that we saw in that intro. I still want to see that guy. I want to see him, and I still believe that it could be an Orda.
Could be interesting. Could be interesting how the Dark Ether maybe corrupts things and makes it. Yeah, that could be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, all I know is that even though the future is uncertain, we just gotta hope and pray that the game continues to improve and continue to be good. Indeed. And to get out of the rut that is Vanguard right now. So we'll see.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I agree.
That'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting few years to come right here.
Definitely.
2024 looks so far away.
It does, doesn't it? But it's going to be really, time's going to fly. Time's going to fly, but
are you guys going to play
still here.
Modern Warfare 2?
I don't know yet, actually. I want to see some trailers first, because I'm a little bit worried about it.
Yeah, I think I will, but again, trailers and that, after seeing Vanguard and kind of how that game was, so I think we'll just have to wait and see, kind of, to see what kind of happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I assume there's going to be some kind of trailer or some kind of leak for it pretty soon, because it's getting to the middle of the year.
Yeah,
and
I think the 30th is going to be like the first reveal thing, is what I heard. Like they've shown a teaser with ghosts, if you brighten it up on their social media. But that's it. And the leaker said this is a shot from the trailer where they're interrogating somebody or something. So,
okay.
Hey,
you know what? I don't know. If Modern Warfare 2 might end up being it's either going to be Modern Warfare 2 or Treyarch's next game, depending on how things go. Depending on how things go, for sure, because of just where we're headed. Is I hope that Modern Warfare 2 isn't the last Hail Mary for Call of Duty, because of where we are right now. And if Modern Warfare 2 ends up being a really bad game, then the last Hail Mary would be Treyarch's game. And if Treyarch's game isn't it, then, I mean, it would really force Activision to try to do something about this. I mean, I have faith in Treyarch. I think 2024 is going to be a decent game. 2023, whatever the free-to-play thing that they talked about is, whatever that's going to be, I don't know what's happening there. But long story short, I just don't want Call of Duty to be constantly trying to reach back up and trying too hard to get back to being good, and try to be more than it is in a way. I don't know. I just really hope that we don't continue to be in this rut with everything, and only time will tell. Only time will tell. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, I'm going to keep this in the back of my mind to see if anything's going to be different, and to see what's going on with the future of not just the studios but Activision as a whole. See what Microsoft can do, if they can do anything. Who knows? Who knows what's going to be happening? And who knows what Bill Gates is going to be doing with Call of Duty? That's a very
that would be interesting.
That's a thought. That's a thought. But we'll see.
One part that I want to discuss before we end it off is, what do you guys think about, because they want to work on a remaster of a Treyarch game for 2023, because they have like the year in between. You guys heard about that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely, yes.
So most people are thinking that with the demand for Chronicles 2, that they're going back to Black Ops 2 and remaster that. What are your opinions about that?
I mean, I would rather a remaster of Black Ops Cold War, to be quite frank. I think that'd be a pretty good game to go back and remaster. The graphics, obviously, they could improve on it. In all seriousness, I think Black Ops 2 is the right game to. I mean, okay, actually,
Black Ops 2
in
would be
terms
the
of
right
sales,
game to do it, but do it in 2025. Because it
yeah.
out in 2025.
Then there's a reason, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because 2025 would be another gap year. Because if you're doing every other year now, 2025 would be a gap year. So remaster Black Ops 2 is the gap year that it takes place in.
I think 2023 remaster BO1. And then you get the new card, and then you get Black Ops 2 in 2025.
I like that idea, because Black Ops 1 is it's canon, so Black Ops 1 is a prequel to Cold War.
I mean, you could do World at War, but I think Black Ops 1 would have hit better, to be honest, in terms of everything. Like, because going from
do World at War, show people what the true World War II Call of Duty game is.
I mean, yeah, exactly, right. I mean, people would play it more than Vanguard, but. No, I think Black Ops 1 is probably the right pick for 2023, and then like Jason says, obviously there's a gap in 2025. Only sounds right to me to do a remaster of that game then, because obviously that's the year the game's based in. And then obviously, as time goes on, remaster other games. Modern Warfare 3 needs a remaster. Modern Warfare 2 needs a remaster for multiplayer. Which they probably won't do because they know that the games will conflict too much. I think what it comes down to is that we can expect a live service for COD at some point very soon, where each game is you can buy a subscription and you have access to every COD and every DLC. I think that's what's going to come down to very soon, to be honest.
I mean, it's already supposed to be kind of live service, but a Call of Duty subscription thing would be very strange to me, because you're already paying for the game. Number one. Oh no, that'd be a script. Never mind. You're paying for the internet connection.
Fortnite's crew or something like that, right? So
Fortnite did a thing,
yeah,
really?
Fortnite is doing like a monthly thing where you get like a skin, and you get 1,000 V-Bucks, and you get the battle pass when it comes out. Like, they could do that with COD.
As long as it's like an exclusive membership for a skin or something special like that, then whatever. As long as it's not to actually play the damn game.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want to pay $10 a month.
No, I don't either.
Call of Duty. That sounds like shit.
I think that will be cool, because imagine that you get like a certain skin, like let's just say that you were to get like the Samantha roped skin. Like, I think people were like, okay, you actually get this kind of skin. I can actually buy this without spending call points. I can get a subscription. I get 1,000 call points with it together. Oh, I also get the battle pass. That will make people like, okay, I can play this game. I don't have to buy the battle pass each and every single time, because I can earn it. And even if I like pay €10 per month, let's say, I still get a lot more benefits. And if I pay that every single month, at the end of the year, I have paid €120 for 12,000 COD points. Just imagine how many bundles of 2,400 you can buy with that, and that saves you money, and it also gives them revenue, in a way.
No, I get what you mean by having that kind of subscription thing, but it should. I don't even want that, to be honest. Like, if they have that, then I guess whatever, and people can earn extra COD points. But like, the problem would be then if if people are interested in that, what would actually stop them from making Call of Duty a live subscription where it is pay $10 a month like Netflix or whatever? You know, who's to say that it would actually stop them from doing that? And honestly, that would be the end of Call of Duty if they were to do that, because I think that's a snowball. I think that's a slippery slope.
Oh yeah, no, they should not do that.
If they're to make one thing subscription based, they're going to make everything subscription based. If the player base is there, willing to do it, because it goes back to, I think it goes back to a very important topic when it comes to just the markets of not even video games, but you know how everything is nowadays in entertainment with subscriptions and like with subscriptions versus owning something, because I think there's more value in something when you own it, because there has to be a completed product and there has to be something there for you to say, yes, I spent my hard-earned money to own this product so I can play this product and I know when I buy this it's going to work. Right? Like right now with Vanguard and how everything isn't working, a lot of people do feel ripped off and a lot of people do feel scammed because it's a product that you own that doesn't work. So, and you can't necessarily fucking replace it because it's on their end. So if you think about it this way too, if you were to have a subscription service for Call of Duty where you pay $10 a month to play the damn game, then it would give them more of an excuse to not even fix their game because you don't own it. Because then you're paying to use their service. You don't own that shit. You know, it goes back to the whole you'll own nothing and like it mentality of how, you know, of markets and human psychology. And, you know, people, it would almost be a, what's that effect where, you know, even though something isn't treating you right, but you keep going back to it because, I like it. I forgot the name of it. Stockholm. It's like Stockholm syndrome in a way, where you have people would just come back to it. Oh, I know it's going to be good, but you know, keep having my money $10 a month because I just know it's going to be good, and then it never gets better. I think it would give them more of a reason not to update the game if they do that, because then they just rake in the revenue and not even give a shit, and you won't even own the game. I think that would be even more of a scam. Not to say that, you know, Call of Duty doesn't already have scams in a way, like with Vanguard not working. I'm gonna be honest, man. I think you can make a fucking argument that because Vanguard doesn't work and people buy the damn game, you could make an argument that you've been scammed. I absolutely believe you can. I mean, as harsh as that sounds, I mean, I just don't understand why it doesn't work. And if Sledgehammer was working on this for a little while, and now I know Treyarch and Zombies has a little bit more of an excuse because they were kind of thrust into that, and that is bound to have problems. But the kind of a weird tangent I went on there right at the end. But I don't know. I just think that would make things a lot worse. It would be a slippery slope from there.
Righto. No, I fully agree with you. Like, they should not do a live subscription like that, where you have to pay $10 every month to play the game. Like, that would just be scummy. And I do think that the players who have bought Vanguard, I do think that they deserve some kind of compensation for what's going on right now.
I agree.
And we did had some sort of compensation with that skin, but that's just a skin. Like, it's not in ways of like content that everybody can use. I think that if we are to get some compensation in a way, because I'm just gonna say this, I'm gonna bet you that either by next month or the month afterwards, Vanguard or any other Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare, they're all going to be on Game Pass, or they're going to be free with PlayStation Plus, because they like,
oh sure,
okay, we need to get this out of there. But for those people who have already bought it, that is a scam, because not even a year and it's already free. Like, what have you paid for then? What did you get in the meantime? They're going to start off with like 4 seasons of content with weapons and everything, and you already went there from the beginning. But what do you get as compensation? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they bring back the player base from that? What is your guys' opinion on that? What should they do to get them back, next to fixing all their problems?
I mean, Vanguard, you're not bringing the player base back. I think the damage is done. I think when it comes to multiplayer and what's happening right now, I think too many people are disgruntled by the fact that this game barely works half the time. And zombies is really the only thing it's got going for it right now, which I know you could say isn't saying much because of the way zombies is, but right now, as is, Treyarch is listening because Treyarch is the studio that listens, and they're putting round based in, and I'm going to give that a chance. So, I mean, I just don't see Vanguard really recovering fully from this if they were trying to do anything. I think you just chalk the rest of it and you go focus on Modern Warfare, which is exactly what Activision is doing. They're already putting out teasers for the new game. They're cutting a season, as some rumors have said, and they're adding tiny little updates to the game here and they're drip feeding everything in. And I mean, the investors' call even said that everything is down because of Vanguard. So I honestly think Activision wants to get out of Dodge as soon as possible, to do what they were going to do originally, or maybe even the bare minimum for Vanguard at this point, and just go on to the next game. However, I know Treyarch isn't like that. I know Treyarch is going to be stubborn, and it's going to be a good kind of stubborn, because they're going to listen to the community and they're going to give people good shit, or at least they're going to try to give people good shit with the fact that they're trying to do round based in Vanguard. So Treyarch is still going to try. I don't know what Sledgehammer is going to do. If Sledgehammer is working on the free to play game now, if Sledgehammer has outsourced some of their work to some of the side studios, we already see all these side studios already getting work. Like Toys for Bob made the new Gulag that's coming to Caldera. I know Activision Shanghai has had some involvement, and not even these games by themselves. Black Ops 4 has had their work outsourced to Activision Shanghai. So I don't know. I just feel like Activision wants to move on from this as quickly as possible, because this is one of the lowest met expectation Call of Duty games in history. One of the lowest met expectation games in history because of how big of a franchise Call of Duty is, and it would just make sense for them to move on. Just move on. Do everything that's on the roadmap. Maybe squeeze a couple things into Season 5 if they're going to cut Season 6, because they don't want to. I just don't think they want to continue with Vanguard. I really don't think they do. And it makes it apparent with Cold War getting Year 2 updates. And there's more content in Cold War right now than there is for Vanguard Season 3. So what does that tell you? I just think they want to move on from this. I don't think there's really bringing back a huge chunk of the player base for Vanguard. I think the player base is going to come back from Modern Warfare 2, though, because Modern Warfare 1 was one of the most successful games of all time. Mm-hmm. And so I think people want to see what the sequel to that looks like. And if that sequel is going to be good, the future has yet to be determined. So that's my take on it.
100%. One part that has me intrigued about all of this news with Season 5 being the final one is, we know that Shinonuma is going to be in Season 4. But I don't think that Treyarch is going to end it there. I don't think they're going to end it after that. If they're like, okay, Season 5 is final one, deal. They're like, okay, but we have a story to finish before we can go on to the next one. And I do think that content comes during the life cycle of Modern Warfare 2, so that we at least have something to look forward to. Maybe it's not going to be on Vanguard itself, but they're going to finish that story one way or another. I'm even saying that in that free-to-play zombie title that has been leaked, there's gonna be the zombies from Vanguard. The story from there, it's gonna be in there. Just to finish it off.
Probably something similar to that, yeah.
That's
definitely something.
Because they want to finish this off. They know that they need to have this out there because they're using this as a prologue to what's about to come for the Dark Eve storyline. That's what they're even saying. Like, oh, this is like a prologue to what's about to come. This is gonna be a huge part. That's why we have all these demons talking to us. Like, suddenly also in Cold War there are demons. It's no longer mysterious voice. No, it's legit demon.
Yeah.
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 So I don't think we're done with Vanguard zombies for at least until next year.
Oh no, I think we're not done with the Dark Ether at all. I think if round base sucks ass in Vanguard zombies, we're done with Vanguard zombies.
That's it.
Like,
they're not going to do anything
I do think the Dark Ether will continue to continue.
It will.
And try to develop.
That'll be the end of that.
That will probably be the end of Vanguard zombies if Shinonuma Reborn is an absolute L, So, I mean, I hope it's not. Like I said, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. I want to see them do good stuff, and I really hope it's good. And like I said earlier, my expectations are set at 0. Surprise me.
Exactly. And that's what we all need to do in a way. Don't let yourself get hyped up by YouTubers who are like, oh, a new zombie map or anything. Let your own opinion be the one to be there. Go in fully blank. Maybe watch a trailer so that you know what the map is like. But don't go in expecting a lot from like zombie YouTubers. Because we know that zombie YouTubers hype up a lot of things. I mean, they've been hyping up this whole super Easter egg for the whole of the week. Like, oh, it's gonna be this, it's gonna rifle Treyarch, Infinity Ward. Like, the thumbnails are crazy for what they showed.
I mean, there was potential for it to happen, and I think it's good for people to speculate, like we were talking about earlier. But, you know, if you're blinded by expectation in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it just...
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's good for speculation and theory, but when it actually happens, don't be surprised when the exact thing that you want in the game wasn't there.
Yeah.
Which, I know you could say that for a lot of things, and not just zombies, but for media. I mean, I know things are genuinely, objectively terrible, and I fully recognize that. But I think with something with Cold War and the Super Easter egg, that's very opinion-based. I think that's very depending on how you view the game and how you see things as they are. But like I said, there are things that I think are universally, there's a universal truth to something being bad in a video game that people can't get behind, like the constant packet burst in Vanguard. I think that's a universal thing. Like, nobody likes that. Like, I've yet to come across one person that says, I love lagging every game, like, so
I avoid bullets.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a huge difference between something that is literally bad and things that should not be acceptable, and things that are based on your opinion, and things that, I like it or I don't like it. Okay, let's talk about it in a civil way without throwing insults at each other on Twitter. Mm-hmm. So, yep.
All right.
I said we should keep things simple, but underneath the simplicity sometimes can be a little bit of nuance to everything. And it's really up to you to make that decision, I guess. So, I mean, I just hope people keep it simple. But at the same time, these developers aren't making it simple.
No.
Well, we'll see what happens in the future.
Indeed. I think that is a great note to end it up on, because this has been fun.
This was a good episode.
Has been, yes.
I mean, I just looked at the time. It's already been 2 hours. I'm like, it's been 2 hours? It doesn't feel like 2 hours.
Hey, there's a lot to talk about.
Exactly. But it was also good stuff to talk about, because we all gave our own opinions about some stuff. We gave our opinions about the Easter egg. We gave our opinions about Season 3 and beyond, King Kong and Godzilla on the map, canon or not canon. And all of it is, in a way, also feedback for the developers and the community itself to just go in with an open mind on anything, and don't have big expectations about stuff. Like what Jason said, you can speculate stuff, but just don't make it too big for yourself, or you're gonna get disappointed. And that's what you see right now with this whole Super Easter egg business. Like, yes, it is a Super Easter egg, but yeah, it's also a pretty good reward because it gives you a big advantage at the start. But that's what people don't see about it. They just, shitty emblems, watch the calling card, that's it.
Oh my god, it's not Zombies Chronicles 2, I hate it.
Exactly that.
Exactly.
Like, that's what it boils down to at the end of the day, I think.
Mm-hmm. And even leaks fuel that fire even more. Like, leaks say something, and then it's not coming out. Oh, Zombie Chronicles 2 is coming. Everybody's gonna think, oh, Zombie Chronicles 2. And then we're gonna get like a thing from the developer, like, oh, Zombie Chronicles 2 is not... If you're gonna ask for it, maybe we can make it, but right now we don't have plans for it. And then you're gonna be like, it's bullshit.
This is why I appreciate a content creator like DK Dynamite, where he just says stuff. He just reports on the news, and he's like, "Hey, so I heard about this," and then he tells you what it is. He doesn't know if it's true or not, if it's a leak that's going to be coming or not, it's true or not. You just make your own fucking opinion about it. He's just bringing you the news. He's not telling you what to think. I mean, of course, he'll tell you his opinion maybe at the end of the video or during one of the segments he does or whatever. But he's just there to straight up bring the news. And I think it's really, really funny. Not even people like DK, but other people who bring the news going like, well, this didn't happen, so you're fake. It's like, okay, buddy, like this is a leak. This is rumor. We're taking everything with a grain of salt. Nothing's happened yet. Like we don't know what's happening yet. So, I mean, yeah, I think transparency going forward for developers and Activision, all that would be very helpful too. But again, the future is unpredictable, so we'll see what happens.
Indeed. Well, on that note, I want to thank you guys both for being here. It's been a lot of fun talking to you guys, having this conversation. It feels good to be back doing all these kinds of things with Zcast. And now you know how I do my podcast. Do you have any tips for me to make it even better for myself? Because you guys have a podcast as well.
Well, I mean, I think everyone does a podcast have their own style, and that I know me and Jason, we probably came across our style quite quickly of how like we do the episodes and stuff, and how we kind of format them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as tips go, just have fun with it, because when you're having fun, then the viewers will obviously have kind of fun with you. Like, be passionate about what you're talking about. Don't talk about stuff just for the sake of talking about it, just to hope to get a few clicks here and there. Talk about stuff you're actually interested in. In terms of like tips on how actually to improve, there's not really much to say other than like camera quality, audio, things like that. But then again, not for you personally, but just things that like I can think of. How would you improve on a podcast? That maybe some sort of formula you've kind of followed the podcast episodes, but for me and Jason, we do the intro, cover the main topics, and then we just kind of like, I wouldn't say ramble, but we talk about,
you bring your personality to it. Absolutely, bring your personality to it, because I think that's a huge part of podcasts. Not even just the topics and the news. They want to see you for you, and they want to see who Flamer is. Mm-hmm. People want a reason. Why should I listen to this person? Oh, I'll listen to this person because he seems like a nice guy, and he's knowledgeable about what he's talking about. Maybe I can learn something. I think another thing, a tip that I would bring is every episode bring value to the viewer. Bring some kind of value, some kind of something that maybe people didn't know about before, or some kind of interesting thought that maybe people can ponder on for a little bit. I think value is a criminally underrated thing, even though you have hundreds of thousands of people out there trying to bring value. I still think value is one of the most underrated things that you can bring to anybody, because if you bring forth new ideas, you bring forth inspiring things, you're passionate about what you do, you don't know who you're going to be reaching, you don't know who you're going to be talking to without actually talking to them, right? So I think bringing value to people is such a very important thing, especially in this culture and where we are in the world, and how everything is meant to devalue you and to devalue your humanity. I think bringing value to people and making a positive impact is very important.
Yeah.
Righto. Alrighty. Well, again, thank you guys for coming here and being my first guest of the season again. It's been a lot of fun. Zcast will be returning regularly. Just have to see when we have to do it. I do have my next guest, which I will be saying tonight, which is going to be Nicole. She is a transgender zombies player, and she's also doing Zombies for Trans Kids, which is a charity for transgender people.
I actually seen that. On Twitter. It popped up my I think that's my recommended, but no, good stuff.
Yeah, because in a way, I don't know as much about transgender people, so I asked her if she could enlighten me a bit about the charity itself and why she is doing this and how it basically is to be a transgender person. Not to cancel culture somebody, it's sometimes just for some people it is weird, and it's a good way to just get that knowledge out there for myself and for others as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I will be having her on next week, I believe around the same time-ish. Just have to see when, of course, because it cannot be on Wednesday, because then it'll be a Doctor Strange.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yep, it's going to be a big week next week. Going to be a lot of cinema people going, so I have to work a lot probably. But yeah, we will see. You guys have any closing words?
I mean, this was a good conversation. I loved everything we talked about today, and yeah, I mean, everybody form your own opinions, be your own person, and I have a good day, I guess. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Thank you for having us on. This was fun, and yeah, I would not mind doing this again sometime.
Heck yeah.
And for me, yeah, just thanks for having us on, my man. I mean, it was good. We talked about a lot of stuff. I'm glad we had a civilized conversation about Cold War zombies and the rewards.
Civilized.
There isn't just screaming.
Screw you.
Yeah. You know what? You like the Cold War Easter egg award? Go fuck yourself. Luckily, that wasn't what happened here today. We, talked about our opinions, and honestly, that's just, that's what I like. So not just someone trying to shout an argument towards you just by shouting the same thing over and over. So yeah, again, thanks for having us on. It's been a good time.
Yeah, indeed. I want to thank the guys also for watching this CCast. There's been a lot of technical issues at the beginning, but for those who stayed around, thank you so much. I will be back regularly again with all of this. So yeah, both of these guys' channels will be down in the link after I have edited out this video right here because of the issues. And also check out the Division C podcast. It's a fantastic podcast. I watch it every single time I can. I've watched about 20 episodes now in a row, I believe. I've just been binging the whole time when I'm doing my homework. It's really...
I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
It's just... The way you guys do it and how you formulate everything is really interesting. And it's also soothing in a way. Like, you just listen to you guys talk and you can hear the passion coming from you too. And it also helps me during my studies because I can listen to a bit of zombies stuff on the side, but I'm also focusing on my studies. So it works out for both ways, I guess.
Well, thank you for the high praise. I really appreciate that. And it makes me think we're doing the right thing then, if people are really enjoying this, and this fuels the fire for me to continue to do more. So thank you for the kind words. We really mean it.
No problem, anytime. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and it's your boy Nisuma Flamer signing off. Have a great day.